Hey there guys, and welcome to another episode of the Smashing Crossbar Podcast. I'm your host Josh, joined live in person by Ben. How are you, mate?
Not too bad, my friend. The 6 a.m. red-eye flight, always a special of mine.
Absolutely, you're getting up nice and early to come up here for the game tonight. Are you excited?
Quarter to five this morning.
Yeah, right. How's the coffee?
On Jetstar, rubbish.
$7-11 coffee better than a Jetstar coffee?
100%.
Very good. To everyone obviously watching this, it may be a little bit of static and a little bit of background noise. We are doing this one live, thanks to Julian from the Cafe Cafe. And we are joined by a special guest today, Tessa Tamplin, who is back in Australia after a stint in Switzerland, 12-month stint to be exact. Tess, welcome.
Hi, how you doing?
Very good, very good. How you been? You've been back, 1 or 2 months?
A little longer, maybe.
A little longer?
Oh, no. 4 months?
4 months, that long? Oh, yeah. She's been pretty quiet on her Instagram, so...
Been under the radar.
Been under the radar, look out. So you spent 12 months thereabouts, near on, 12 months over in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. European football, taste of Champions League football.
Yeah.
12-month contract instead of a 6-month contract and part-time work. What was it like getting the call to go over there in the first place?
It was super exciting. The whole process was kind of long, trying to find a team that would kind of take such a young player, and in some respects unexperienced, because I only had played for one team here. So it was kind of a longish. When I say long, I mean like maybe a month of just like finding the right team for me, the right team for them, finding something that will help me grow and give me opportunities that I wouldn't have here. But it was actually the morning after the awards night at Jets, I got the call up, which was just like, I found it so funny. And I was there on the phone and my manager was like, hey, Savet, they want you, they're sending the contract now, go home, read it, sign it, you're going in 2 weeks. And I was like, sorry? And he's like, yeah.
Thanks for the option.
Yeah. And I was like, 2 weeks in Switzerland. And he's like, yep, books, like your flight's already booked, let's go. And it was, from there it just like snowballed, and it was just crazy trying to get everything sorted because COVID. So I had to do all of the bloody requirements for that, and then I had to organise my passport, because that was expired. So much was just had to be crammed, but no, it was awesome, and so glad I did it as well.
Yeah, obviously massive experience, as you said, at a young age as well. Over in Europe, where let's be honest, where every footballer wants to be, and sees himself in the professional game. What was let's take us to the first day, arriving at the club, going through, obviously I'm sure there was a medical and those sort of things as well. What was that like? I'm sure it's completely different to say coming to the Jets first day, where everyone just rocks up, has a laugh, and let's get into training. I'm sure the standard would be a lot different. Yeah,
yes and no. I got there 2 weeks to a week prior to when we actually started training, because they wanted me to be fresh and ready for the first session. So they wanted me to acclimatise to the weather, to the time zone, familiarise myself with just like the new country, I guess. So I wasn't so like thrown in the deep end. They kind of wanted a warm up. But within those 2 weeks, I actually got to meet the whole team through the medicals. I had to just go into the office, sign my contract officially, because the digital one didn't. Well, it worked, but they were like, "Oh, we want another one that's hard copy that like you signed in person."
Well, they can take a photo of with you holding the shirt.
yeah, literally. And I had to do the whole photo shoot thing with the shirt and all of that. So that was probably my first initial eye opener into the club, which was, I was kind of starstruck because the office is right next to the big stadium. So I got the manager came and picked me up from my little apartment that I had. Came, picked me up from there, gave me a tour of the city, which was super cute. And then we went to the stadium, and then I got to go in the stadium, check that all out, and it's very similar to McDonald Jones Stadium, so it was not so much of a boom in the face. And then we just literally went straight from the stadium over this little bridge into the office, which I found so cool because our office is not near the stadium at all. So we walked into the office and I met all of the important people, which was super intimidating. And everyone was talking in French and it was so overwhelming, and I was like, oh my God. But and then I just did my medicals, and I had medicals with the same time as the other girls. So I got to meet all of them, but it was it was also real the whole first initial meeting of everyone because like it was just so different, and like the way they interacted was different because it wasn't like a laugh as much. It was more like
official.
Yeah, I guess you could say. And then the initial team that I went into had a lot of girls that were there the season before, so there was only maybe 4 or 5 new girls, which is still a lot, but when you have a squad of like 26, 20 of the same girls that already know each other and you're coming into that environment, it was still good. They were so welcoming from the initial part, but it was
I suppose from your point of view, they're all looking at me.
Yeah.
Where the hell is this?
But it was winter for them, and so I was super tan because it was summer for us. And no, that's false. It was vice versa. They were super tan and I was white. Yeah. But like, I kind of look, in my appearance, I look European because I like look Spanish. People say I look Spanish or Italian. So they were like, "Where are you from?" But then I came out with my Aussie accent and they were like, starstruck. But and then no one understood me for so long as well because I used to say things like, "Oh, hey, are you alright?" And they were like, and I was like, "Hi, how you going?"
I suppose that's one of the big ones as well, the language barrier. You were saying they all spoke pretty much French.
Yeah.
So the language barrier completely different, very hard to get used to? Or?
Yeah, I was very lucky because a lot of the girls did speak English because they have to learn it in school. So and then a lot of like maybe a third of the team were actually still in high school and like not quite in the team but like involved in the whole system, and they were really wanting to practice their English, so they spoke to me a lot, which was super nice. But yeah, all of the girls, not all, 70% of the girls spoke what I call broken English, where it's not like having a conversation like you and I, where it'd be like...
you could piece together a sentence.
Yeah, they'd be like, Tess, your day good, yeah? And I'd be like, yeah, it was good, how was yours? And they're like, oh, mine good too, kind of thing, you know what I mean? But the main 2 languages that were spoken were also Spanish and French. So just from listening and hearing things, I picked up a lot of Spanish and French, which was super cool. But also kind of isolating because I didn't know what was going on half the time. Particularly at the beginning, I was like, what is going on? And no one...
I'm just here to play football.
But even at training, generally no one like would be like, oh, Tess, this is what we're doing. You just have to like just follow suit kind of thing.
Just pray you're not at the head of the line when the drill starts.
Yeah, literally. I'd be at the front and I'd be like, someone else, come, please take this spot. I'll just follow you. But no.
So for everyone at home who may not know exactly where the club is and what they sort of are in the Swiss, they're one of the top clubs. Like they play Champions League football. They've won a few titles from what I've seen. So it's definitely not a minnow side. You know what I mean? These guys are the real deal. It's not like you've sort of rocked up to a club that's sort of either struggling or on the decline, heading towards the bottom. These guys are definitely on the up and up. You've made Champions League finals. Football. You made Champions League football.
Yeah, we made round of 16, which is like massive achievement for anyone that isn't like the big names like Chelsea, Arsenal, things like that. They kind of walk into it, but we really had to fight for it, and we got in, and it was like the proudest moment for the club, both boys and girls, because none of us had ever made that before, so it was a big moment.
So you would have got to play against Sam Kerr?
I did. Yeah. So we played. It was pretty crazy. I remember being on the field, and I was, I think, playing as a defender, and she was obviously in the 9. That was from the, like, do you know when you set up before the whistle blows? Yeah. I was just looking at her like, oh my God. And then I was saying this to someone actually the other day. I was trying to, like, let her know that I was Australian. Yeah. So to people on the field, I'd be like, oi, oi, oi. So she could hear it and then, like, connect the dots. Yeah. But I don't think she connected the dots, which is fine. But I was, I
was going to say, she's pretty much just head down.
Yeah.
Everything's the coach is talking, don't even listen to him. Like, it's my way, I'm just doing it and get off the field. But again, like 12 months even, massive achievement. How many Aussie females footballers have we got over in Europe? There's not many. To be one of the select few.
At that point, there wasn't many. Now
there's a few now. There's a few that have gone overseas now, but at the time, there wasn't a great deal. So to be one of the select few over there, it's massive for us as a country. The World Cup next year as well happening is, got to be a massive achievement for you, and it's got to help you get recognised by the Australian coaching staff and everything else. What's next? I suppose you come home, as you said, the contract's sort of finished. You didn't renew. You were saying you were a bit homesick and just wanted to get home, see family and friends, which is understandable. Let's be honest. It's as you said,
especially through the pandemic.
The war started and everything else. You were still sort of there at that time, and it's. Do I come home? Do I risk it? Do I bottle all my feelings up and go, I want to come home, but this is where where I should be? Yeah. What's next now that you've come home? What are your plans?
This is not the answer everyone wants to hear, but it's the only one I have. I'm so unsure of what's next because playing overseas was an incredible opportunity. I enjoyed it heaps. I got so many new friends, so many new experiences, and I got to learn a lot, which was awesome. But because I missed home so much, I'm not sure if I'm ready to deep dive back into that or if I need to spend time here or what my next move is. But for right now, and when I say right now, I mean like the next 6 months to a year, I'm hoping to play in Australia, potentially get an opportunity in the World Cup, but you never know. It's always out of my hands. I just put everything on the field and leave it up to whoever's watching to make that decision. But yeah, for the next 6 months is definitely to jump into the W League, or sorry, I should say A League now. A League Women's?
A League Women's?
Yeah.
A League.
So awkward and different, but so you talk 6 months. When obviously you're uncontracted. When from obviously the fans, because even the fans obviously of the games, Australian games, don't really know the women's game that well. They know they're on short contracts and everything else. So it would be safe to say that you probably won't get looked at by an A League club until August,
6 to
September?
8 weeks out.
Yes and no.
They sort of start recruiting now.
Yeah, they've started kind of recruiting now. I've put out some olive branches, I guess you could say, to get some feelers into some other teams and just see what's out there. But nothing secure yet. But I guess also my circumstance is very different to others. As you mentioned before, I'm kind of still tied in my contract. So I can't make any confirmed decision until I've sorted that out on my side. But definitely for other girls and even myself, the communication has started now. I think a lot of teams are holding back the announcements because it kind of is the boys' time to shine at the moment because they do start earlier than us. And then in the next, as you maybe said, 4 to 6 weeks, then they will start announcing the girls.
I suppose that's because we've spoken to a few of the Jets girls in the past and so forth, and as you said, the training really starts 3 to 4 weeks out. It's not a long pre-season sort of like the boys get. So my understanding obviously was you just don't really get sort of looked at for a while. But it's good though that the clubs are locking in.
Yeah.
You might not be training with the girls yet, but at least you guys know where you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not sitting there 6 weeks out going, Jesus Christ, am I going to be in Melbourne? Am I going to be in Adelaide? Am I going to be here? Where am I? You know what I mean? Obviously the ideal for us is we want you here in Newcastle playing for the Jets, hometown, happy days. But at the end of the day, you guys are just so unsure. You don't really know when you've got to take what you can, I guess. So.
Yeah. Unfortunately for some girls it is sometimes, I think one of the girls was telling me 2 or 3 weeks, maybe less, they got the call up that they were getting signed to the Jets before pre-season, and so they kind of had to get their stuff together and find an apartment and crap like that and stuff like that because they weren't from Newcastle. But then there's also a lot of girls, particularly the overseas girls or the girls that the club is super interested in, get a lot more time. So, it just, it depends on, I guess, every individual.
You said, I suppose, with your 2 weeks' notice of getting over to Switzerland.
Yeah.
It's just sign the contract, you leave in 2 weeks. You've already booked your flight. Hang on, I haven't signed the contract yet.
I know.
Do I get any choice in this?
I was about to say, what happens if I'm not happy with the contract? So you say you bought the flight, but I'm not getting on it. I'm not happy with it. But so what, in comparison, I suppose, to go back to the standard of football compared to Australia to Europe, what was training like? Was it sort of the same, or was it a lot more intense?
It It was.
I suppose it would have been more frequent.
It was more frequent. It was interesting in Switzerland because here in Australia, everyone's on the same contract. You have a professional contract that everyone signs, or you have a scholarship contract, which is for the younger girls, but they still train the same amount of time and it's still treated the exact same as every other person, right?
Yeah.
But in Switzerland, not so much in our team, but like the lower teams particularly, but this also flooded into our team as well. There's 2 contracts. They have a semi-professional contract and a professional contract. So we had, I think, 9 to 10 girls on a semi-professional contract, and they were treated vastly different to the professional girls. So the professional girls, which I was a part of and a lot of the internationals were a part of, weren't particularly allowed to work another job because we trained twice a day. So we'd have to come in the morning and do a gym session or a tactical session or a video session or something along those lines, and then in the afternoon would just be the field session and things like that. There would also be the occasional middle session where it would be conditioning as well. But that would generally not be like a middle session. It would be like, usually we start at 6, but today we're starting at 3 because we're going to run after training, kind of thing. But those girls that were on the semi-professional contract weren't required to do the conditioning or the gym or the video or the tactical. They just had to come for the field session. So yeah, that was kind of very different to what we have here. But yeah, it was a lot doing that much training and having that much involved in like the football game because it's quite different to what we have here. We generally train once a day. We have 1 to 2 days off, and we do the occasional gym session maybe once or twice a week. There it was like everyday gym, everyday training, twice a week, conditioning. At the field or at the venue, 8 hours for the day, which was a lot.
That's a lot. You think about it now. I'm lucky to get through 2 hours of training once a week.
I'm retired because my body can't do it anymore.
We're a lot older than this, though, so there's plenty of years left in our extra benefits. So we've spoken about the difference in obviously training. You're sort of in limbo at the moment between clubs. Obviously looking to find a contract. So all the A League's women's sides out there, hurry up, get flooded through.
That's so wrong.
It just sounded weird when I said it. Then I said it, which is just not right. It's the W League. It's original. It's standard.
It works.
It works, absolutely. So you're talking about. So obviously you'd be trained on your own somewhat. You're not affiliated with any clubs or anything like that. So you're pretty much just training on your own.
Not completely on my own. I've been training with the 15s to 18s, depending on the day. Boys, just the Jets because it's home, and I know everyone through the system, so it's been really easy. That's been really good. We're also doing a kind of, what do we call it? Trials, I guess, for W League, where we're bringing a whole bunch of girls, particularly the younger girls from the academy, which I think is a great opportunity for them, all in together once every couple of weeks to just see what's out there, see them in like a game sort of standard. So that's being ran at the same time as well. So I do that with the Jets whenever they do that.
Let's be honest, all the girls coming in, now looking at an international footballer, they'll be starstruck and...
Oh, no, not at all. Everyone was just like,
oh,
damn it, Tessa's back. Oh.
She's back. Okay, maybe Gary Van Eyck while they're looking at starstruck. Oh, look, it's the Newcastle Jets grand final winning coach and Australian international coaches and everything else. He's a superstar, so it's good to have him back at the club, even if it is through what his 500th stint at the club. We're about 4. Yeah, about his 4. He's just one of those ones that just sort of goes and comes back and goes and comes back. And
he's like a river.
I suppose that's what happens. He lives in Newcastle.
But he's always here when Emily's not.
That's true.
It's probably a good thing. Emily thought there going, thank God for that. We'll get you back for a couple of weeks and it's all good. We'll go elsewhere. I don't want to be anywhere near.
That's the one time where she turn around and go, no, you can't afford me.
Ouch. Fair enough. Anything else, Ben, before we let Tess go? Obviously, I believe 4 a.m. finish at doing work, so...
Oh, yeah.
bit of 4 a.m. finishes, bit of Splendor in the mud, and the last couple of weeks, anyone on her Instagram watching her out there, that would have been interesting. How was everyone at Splendor?
Everyone was
drunk.
Muddy. Nah, it was good. It was good, actually. Everyone took it very well, particularly with the first day being called off. I was behind the bar, and lots of people were flooding their anger with alcohol, but in the best way possible, not aggressive, just being like, oh, let's just make the most of the day.
Yeah. So bar sales went through the roof that day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Doesn't have to do with drink.
Imagine walking up to the bar after about 10 and then, we're sold out, mate. I wouldn't imagine that gone down too well.
But again, somebody like me or Dylan Watkins, if we were there, it would be 10 drinks in. Could have sworn Tessa Tamplin just said me.
I actually saw so many people from Newcastle, and I was like, don't recognise me.
Oh, yeah. Nah, too easy. What was I going to say before we wrap it up? So, is the plan to stay? Would you like to stay at the Jets, or are you possibly looking at branching out?
Ideally, I would love to stay at the Jets for the reasons of why I came home initially from Switzerland was to be with my family. So to take off to, I don't know, Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, even Sydney, it's a distance from my family and my friends again, which is like, it's different because it's Aussie culture and Aussie people, and I know a lot of the girls that are from other teams, so it's completely different to taking off to another country. However, I would, ideally love to stay in Newcastle. I love Newcastle.
Yeah,
I love...
Why wouldn't you want to go?
Yeah, but
coming here.
You should move here then.
I've tried.
Oh, yeah, there's a job in the...
I've tried, and you know.
Nah, Newcastle's great. I love Newcastle.
Yeah, that's good.
Not even just the football, like Newcastle itself.
Yeah, it would have been completely different over in Switzerland. Cold, freezing.
Although here's been bloody cold lately as well. I was like not happy about it.
No, I left 14 degrees and sunny in Melbourne this morning.
That's what it was in Melbourne?
Yeah.
Maybe I should move to
They're
Melbourne.
in the top of 18. They're in the top of 18.
Top of 18, you take that in Melbourne. That's warm. It's summer and winter over there.
Yeah, but by 3 o'clock it'll be pissing and raining 10 degrees.
Very good. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. I said once again, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Hope your coffee wasn't too bad.
Nah, it was good. Very good, thanks.
Julian does a good coffee.
Julian does a good coffee, usually. Thanks to Katie, obviously, for looking after us as well, getting us a spot in the back booth, and Team Jets on the reserve thing. That's a bit cute, isn't it? But yeah, honestly, hopefully we'll get a few more of these in when you're in Jets colours.
Sure.
Come October, maybe. But yeah, other than that, enjoy the off-season.
Thanks.
Keep fit.
I'll try.
Hopefully we'll see the big Jets shirt signed up and that come sooner rather than later.
Hopefully we'll see.
She's back, or welcome home. Or...
on the Jets page, the big guess who's back?
Guess who's back? Other than that, go to the Jets tonight. Obviously, Jets play Adelaide tonight. This won't be out in time for that game, but we'll be at the Australian Cup. So even that's changed as well. FA Cup now, we're in the Australian Cup. Just, why does things have to change? Good luck to the Jets. A few new signings in there. Brendan O'Neill's in there. I don't know if the other boys from New Zealand will be fitting up tomorrow night.
Syrio, Gary.
Yep. There's another one there from the Netherlands. And 3, I think we picked up with there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever the other one was, good luck. Let's go both team. And then, so a lot of new faces have come in. We haven't really let go of anyone of major concern. Obviously,
just all our fullbacks.
Except for, Reeves is gone. That's a bit upsetting.
That upset me a lot.
I think he should have played another season. But anyway, that's not
the other day.
We're not part of the club. We're not professional enough to be part of the club. So come on.
Laurie did offer you a contract.
He did offer me a contract.
Did he?
Yeah. That was very.
It was a piss take.
No, it wasn't. Well, it wasn't a piss take, but it was like just doing this sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like just we're definitely no professionals.
You were the transfer man.
The transfer man originally. I called the transfers, but obviously we're definitely no professionals or anything like that. We're just trying to get down to training and just get a 2-minute. What he's been up to and how's training been. How he's looking shaping up for the game ahead. Those sort of quick interviews and that, just because, in our opinion, not obviously anyone else's, we just sort of found that we're into the Jets asking, or even if any club, someone asking for, a quick chat with Brendan O'Neill or whoever, new signing. And we're 3 or 4 weeks ahead of NBN, and they can't do anything until NBN sort of get their scoop.
Get their stuff together.
So it's like...
We've done the legwork. All we have to do is to get the yes.
We've done everything we need. We just need you to go. Sure, you can. You can have 5 minutes. But obviously, there's a contract. I'm guessing in with the Jets. And
we find it easier to get interviews from players from other clubs than what we do our own.
That's enough.
Stephen Listiger from Western United.
Well, again, that's, as I said, we're definitely not professionals. But at the end of the day, we just want the Jets fans to get sort of information that they shouldn't have to wait for. Because we're waiting on, Brendan O'Neill signs, and then 4 weeks later he finally comes out and says 5 minutes worth of, it's good to be in Newcastle. It's where, we're sitting there going, as fans, we want that now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's get it. He's fresh, he's signed, he's over here training. Can we have it? And we're just finding the barrier at the moment a little bit stale and a bit stiff.
Yeah.
Different media personnel every week.
Back to square one again.
Back to square one again. We've got a new media manager, so fingers crossed, mate. The Instagram. Who was the one before Quinton? It was Quinton, and there was...
I can't even remember.
Nathan?
Yeah, Nate. Because he used to do the night stuff.
Nate, and he was onto it, man. The media stuff for him was perfect. Like the bloody Rambo sort of setup and everything else, the video clips and who's signings and stuff like that was just very... It was good. It was a good way to go about it. Got fans thinking about, I wonder who it is. He's given us little snippets of possibility and connect the dots sort of thing. So hopefully the new one can come on board and do sort of stuff like that. Just keep the fans on their toes.
Yeah,
and
intrigued and
what, But as I said, good luck to the Jets tonight. Once again, we get shafted with the draw. We always get A League clubs and stuff like that, so we always virtually fail at round one. But getting the Australian Cup champions, the most successful Australian Cup side, Adelaide United. I think they've lost three games in the Australian Cup today. So,
seriously?
Yeah, they've
wow.
I think they've won 3 titles.
I've only won it twice.
At least twice.
Wow.
At least twice, and they've only sort of been beaten to sort of get into the grand final.
They get there and lose at the hurdle.
Right.
So the only games they've really lost is that sort of one to get into the grand final.
Yeah.
So,
oh, God, that would just throw you in the gut, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So to be only really getting beat at that point, either someone's looking after them with the draw or they are just wanting those trophies more than the others, I suppose. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, take it easy. If you see us at the game tonight, come say hi. We're not friggin', we're not shy. And
I won't bite, not hard.
But that's it. Feel free to buy some beer. I'm always up for free beer. So, too easy, guys. Thank you very much, and we will catch you guys next week on the next podcast. Thank you.
Bye.